Hello collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at 3 new figures from the Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line from Playmates. We have Mechazoid, Bishop in Mech, and Metalhead. So these are part of the Mutations mix and match line, which you can take the parts off and swap them all around. They even come with some additional parts, extra heads, arms, and legs, and things like that. I'll be honest, personally that gimmick doesn't really do anything for me. But I wanted to just pick up these robot figures because they're kind of exclusive to this line. I don't know if they'll get regular figures later on, but I think they still function as regular figures even if you don't want to participate in the mix and match gimmick. So I just thought they looked cool and I wanted to check them out. Now, the Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is the new show on Paramount Plus that is a continuation of the movie. I still have not seen the movie. I don't have Paramount Plus. I have not seen this new show, but I thought these new robots looked really, really cool. You can see we have the new Tales of the TMNT packaging here where you have a little bit of the purple brick, but then it's kind of broken open, and you have this mostly blue background with the 4 turtles in the corner, which I think is kind of neat. And then it shows off how you can swap the legs and heads and arms and things like that. And then over here on the back, again, showing you the Switch gimmick and then showing you all of the figures that are available. There is also a new version of Splinter that comes with a bow and a quiver. I decided not to pick that one up because I already have 2 versions of Splinter and I think I'm good with that. The versions of the Turtles from this line have some additional like straps and belts and things with different weapons and things attached. I'm probably not going to rebuy these versions either. I was really only interested in the new characters. So that's why I picked up these 3 robot figures. So I'm going to go ahead and get them out of the packaging and we'll take a closer look. So here are the 3 figures out of the packaging. We'll start over here on the left with Mechazoid. I like the design. I think this is really cool. I like how he has this big cape piece. It's just a soft piece of like rubbery plastic. So you can just literally just drop it on top and it kind of drapes over the shoulder. I think it's a really neat look. I'm going to take it off temporarily so we can take a look at the figure. Now the way these work, because they have the mix and match thing, and I'm going to try to move these out of the way for a moment, I have trouble getting a lot of them to stand because every limb is a solid piece. And they're definitely made of like a spongier, rubbery material. Now, they do have holes in the bottom of the feet, so if you have somewhere to connect them onto a stand or a playset or something like that, that would work, I think. And I do really like the look of the figures. I'm not a big fan of them being that kind of soft, spongy plastic, but it's because of the gimmick. So the arm is one solid piece. There's no elbow, there's no wrist, there's no hand movement, anything like that. You basically have a ball joint at the shoulders, a ball joint at the hips, and a ball joint for the head. Now this one has 2 additional ball joints here in the center, so you can see you get a lot of movement there. And he comes with these like extension pieces, which are actually kind of cool. So you can pop this off and then pop in like one of these extension pieces, and it kind of looks like he extended there in the center. I think that's kind of neat. I do like that look of it. It's going to be even probably harder to pose him now because it'll be very top heavy. And unfortunately, just because, you know, the legs are very rubbery, they just don't support weight very well. And also kind of like finding a pose for them to stand in. That actually worked out okay. But I think the extension pieces are really neat. Now he also has this one here, which you can do a double extension if you want. And so you can make him, he's even off, he's out of the shot now because he's ridiculously tall. So that's kind of fun to play around with. The thing that's interesting is you can't use just this piece because it's 2 balls for the ball joint. And so the socket, you know, it's kind of a 1-in-1. So you can't use just this one. You have to use either this one or this one in combination with this one to get it to work. But I think it's kind of fun. I like those extension pieces. I think that's a neat idea. And I do generally like the look of the figure. It's just those really kind of rubbery limbs make him hard to stand and find balance. Once you can find it, it's not too bad. And like I said, I really like this little cape here. I think that's kind of cool. It does limit the posability of the one arm, but I still think that's a really cool look. Now, of course, these all come with various... I didn't separate them out by who comes with which, but I have a couple of extra turtle heads here. I have a couple of extra turtle arms, although they're both... Actually, I have 3 turtle arms, and they're all the left arm, which is weird, but okay. And then I have 1 random turtle leg. So just for the sake of showing this off real quick, you can pop on one of the other arms. I don't know why you'd want him to have a turtle arm, but you certainly can. And I can give him a turtle leg. But see, now it's like not even close, so he can't really stand that way, I guess, if he leans. So, I mean, I get it. I guess somebody appreciates that gimmick. I don't, doesn't really do anything for me. I don't really need to mix and match. I do like the extension. Like, this gimmick ultimately allows me to use those extension pieces, so that's kind of neat. But as far as swapping it out with turtle limbs, I don't get the point of that. That doesn't really do anything for me. I think the paint applications are pretty good, though. You have this gold here for the head, and again, that's on a ball joint, so that can move all the way around, tilt side to side, front to back a little bit. Nice paint here on the torso, on the elbows, on the hands, down here on the ankle, and the joint down here. So, decent paint applications. Articulation is definitely lacking when compared to one of their normal figures, because you're not going to have knee joints, you're not going to have the ankle swivels, you're not going to have elbows or wrist swivels. I don't mind the ball joints, though. I kind of wish they would do more ball joints and get away from the swivel and hinge in the shoulders and knees. I like it for the elbows and the elbows and the knees. I like the hinge and the swivel. For the hips and the shoulders, I wish they would do ball joints, honestly. I think that, shoulders aren't bad. I like ball joints for hips, though. I really do like ball joints for hips. I just think it works better. Shoulders, I guess you could still do the hinge and the swivel. I don't know. But I do like the look of this. I think it's fun. The gimmick of switching out the turtle parts is kind of lost on me personally. But I do like the extender gimmick for this guy. I think that's kind of cool. I like the sword. Very basic, just kind of giant katana sword there, which looks really cool. So all in all, I like this guy. I think it's a really cool design. Getting him to stand can be troublesome. All right, next up, we will move on to Bishop in Mech. I'm assuming that's Bishop there in the center. Decent paint applications there. There's a little head, two little hands. I assume he's supposed to have two different colored hands. I don't know. But then you have a little piece of plastic there for glasses or shades, whatever you want to say. Goggles, which looks pretty cool. Now, they give you this piece here, this like metallic blue painted piece that like pegs in. It's kind of annoying to remove, but you can see there's kind of like a red robot eye that kind of looks like a shuriken under there. A lot of really nice paint. And then they give you this piece to slot into the sides there to cover it up. So I don't know if that's like a protective shield, or again, if that's explained in the show, why that. I was hoping that I would peg it in and then it would kind of rotate up, but it doesn't do that. It just pegs in and that's it. I was kind of hoping it was like a visor on a hinge and you could just hinge it up. You also have this little capture claw here, as Mechazoid falls over on me again. You can unpeg this. It literally just slots into that hole up there, and then you can swivel it around if you like. Ball joint here for the hand. Again, a lot of nice paint applications. The black, the metallic blue, the silver, all that looks really sharp. You have kind of like a grabber claw there. Again, no movement in that, and you can see Mechazoid fell over again. He's just going to sleep for now. You have a ball joint here. Again, you can pop all these arms off and switch them out if you want. And you have kind of like a giant kind of wrecking ball over here. Again, arm is one solid piece, no articulation there. And then you have the ball joints down here for the feet. I almost feel like, I don't know, this one almost seems like it should be a left foot, but I can't really switch them. So, I don't know. They're a little weird there. The thing that really confuses me the most about this figure is these hard plastic pieces here on the back. You can hear how loud those are. And I don't know what purpose they serve. I really don't know. As far as I'm concerned, they don't even have to be there. I don't really see what they're doing. I don't know. I don't get these at all. There's just these random hard plastic little hinged pieces on the back. Maybe like he transforms on the show or something. I really don't know. I don't know what those are for. But it's a neat looking figure. I think it's funny that there's a little guy inside piloting the mech. I think the arms are really cool with the grabber claw and the like wrecking ball. You have the capture claw up here. This piece, like I said, I wish it was on a hinge so that I could rotate it up, because I do think it's cool and it's painted nicely, but it's a little, more difficult than it should be to take a look at the eye underneath. Maybe it's something they break off during the course of a battle or something like that, and that's why they wanted to give you the option. I don't know. But overall, kind of a cool design. He does not come with any accessories or swap out pieces except for the visor and then this capture claw. He came with some of the extra turtle limbs. I don't remember which ones, but I mean, he doesn't have anything like this or the sword or anything. So interesting. You know, I like the guy piloting the mech aspect of it, and overall I love the color scheme. But these things just, they rattle around so much. And they're so loud, and I don't understand what purpose they serve. So that's just weird to me. I'm going to try to attempt. You kind of have to, because of the capture claw and all the weight up top, you really have to kind of have them lean back a little bit to get them to balance. And I really wish this guy would stand up. Maybe if I angle his feet differently, we'll try that. By far, the coolest one, in my opinion, is Metalhead. I think they did such a cool job with this guy. He's got all these weapons. He's got storage for all of them on the back here. I think the head is fantastic. I like how he's only got one functioning eye. It kind of like the neck like lurches his head forward. You have the ball joint there. You have a ball joint for the arms. Of course, for the legs. You can see he's got a sai here, which fits in this little spot here on the side, which we can go ahead and equip for him. He's got a spot here on the back that you can slide the sword into, although I have to admit it's a little difficult. I believe that's what it's for. You can see the little slit there. I tried to put it in like this, and it didn't seem to like it. So I tried to slide it in like this, and it worked out a little bit. It did scratch up the blade there. I don't know if you can see that as I was trying to put this in, because I think this is painted in this like metallic gunmetal gray color. So be a little careful if you're sliding this in. It's awesome for the storage, but it does scrape the paint a little bit. I just popped the nunchuck in here because I couldn't figure out what else was supposed to go in this spot. And I think that's correct. It just pegs in very simply. And then he's got a spot here on the back for the bow staff, which I will pop through and we'll put it in his hand just for fun. Come on. There we go. But the coolest thing, he's got this compartment here. I don't know exactly. It kind of looks like the front of a Jeep or something to me, but maybe it's supposed to be a pizza oven. But either way, this opens up. This hinges downward. And then you can put a little pizza in there. Now, it's painted silver, or it's made of gunmetal gray plastic. It has a pizza sticker on there. I don't know if it's supposed to be some kind of pizza shuriken, or if it's just supposed to be a pizza, and for whatever reason they made it out of gray, just because, you know, the sprue, all the other pieces were gray, and they didn't want to spring for a crust-colored piece of plastic. I'm assuming it's just supposed to be a pizza, and it just pops out like he's, you know, battling out there with the turtles and then provides snacks. But either way, I think that's really fun. I think that's a neat little feature. I love that he has one of the weapons from each of the turtles. I love that he's got storage for just about all of them. The paint looks good. I mean, they had to put yellow on top of gray colored plastic, but I think they did their best. Only really like over here a little bit. You can see it's really caked on. Everywhere else, it's pretty good. Probably could use another coat of paint here on the bandana. Honestly, it's a little light there, but it's a cool design. I really love all of his accessories. I love the chest pizza oven gimmick, and I think this is a sticker here on the back, if I'm not mistaken. He's definitely my favorite out of the three. He's got two different feet, which I think is fun because he's just built out of spare parts and whatnot. And again, if you want to utilize any of the swapping pieces, you absolutely can. But yeah, I think these are three cool figures. The only reason I'm a little bummed is because since they're part of the mix and match mutation line, they all have simplified arms and legs, which makes them lack articulation and also makes them out of kind of a softer, spongier plastic, which makes it difficult for them to stand sometimes. Not all the time. I mean, as you can see, I've got them standing here. Not too bad. But ultimately, I like them. I wish they were regular figure versions of these characters, because then they'd have a little bit more articulation, and they could probably stand a little better. But other than that, I think they're really fun. I definitely think they're still worth checking out. I don't know if there's going to be like a whole robot motif in this new show or whatever, but I'm here for it. I think all three of these designs are really, really cool. It's hard to pick a favorite. All right, Metalhead's probably my favorite, but Mechazoid is a really close second. I really like his design. I love the cape. I love the sword. I wish he had somewhere to put the sword on his back. He doesn't. Bishop in Mech, also pretty cool. Love the color scheme for him. The paint application's really sharp. And I didn't mention it yet, but these are $10 a piece. I found them at Target, so I feel like pretty reasonable, honestly. Now, yes, these do have less articulations than the Playmates standard fare, but I still think they did a really good job with the designs, the paint applications, the accessories. I still think they're fun figures. If they do ultimately get regular figures down the line, I would probably get those. I don't know if that'll happen or not, but I probably would spring for them just because I really like these designs and it would be nice for them to have more articulation and maybe a little bit more stability and balance, but we'll have to wait and see if that happens. But yeah, in the meantime, I think these are definitely worth checking out because they're reasonably priced and just overall really fun figures for the price. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.